In the beginning, there was only chaos. From this void, the primordial gods Gaia and Uranus emerged, creating the world and all that lived within it. They begot the Titans, a powerful and immortal race of gods, who ruled the cosmos for countless ages. However, as time passed, the Titans grew complacent in their power. They became cruel and oppressive, forgetting the needs of the mortals they were meant to protect. The universe cried out for change, and from the union of Gaia and Uranus, a new generation of gods was born, the Olympians. Led by Zeus, the youngest and most powerful of the Olympians, the gods set out to overthrow their predecessors and seize control of the universe. And so, the stage was set for the greatest battle in the history of the gods, the Titanomachy. The two sides met on the battlefield, a desolate plain in the far-off east, where the Titans had made their stronghold. The ground shook with the fury of their combat, and the air was filled with the roar of their war cries. As the battle began, both sides took up their weapons. The Titans wielded immense, jagged rocks and massive clubs made of solid iron. The Olympians, on the other hand, were armed with lightning bolts and deadly arrows. Zeus led the charge, throwing his lightning bolts with devastating force. The bolts struck the Titans, leaving them momentarily stunned and disoriented. The lightning bolts from Zeus seared into their flesh, causing massive burns and deep wounds. The force of the bolts was so great that some Titans were even thrown clear across the battlefield, their bodies slamming into nearby rocks and boulders. Taking advantage of their confusion, the Olympians pressed their attack. Poseidon, the god of the sea, used his trident to launch massive tidal waves at the Titans, battering them with immense force. The waves swept across the battlefield, picking up the Titans and tossing them around like rag dolls. Some of the Titans were even swept away by the powerful currents, their bodies disappearing beneath the churning waters. While Ares, the god of war, fought with ferocity and intensity, charged forward with his sword, striking down any Titan that dared to stand in his way. Each strike of his sword leaving a deep wound on the Titans. His movements were lightning fast, slicing through the Titans' armor and leaving deep gashes in their flesh. From the sky, a searing fire meteor crashed into the face on the ground. That was Hades, god of the underworld. As the ashes slowly vaporized, the shadow of Hades began to show as he stood tall, with a black metal pitchfork on one hand, his eyes blazing with an inner fire that was both terrifying and beautiful to behold. He fought with a quiet, yet unyielding ferocity, his pitchfork a blur of motion as it carved through the air, left deep and jagged wounds on the Titans. Their wounds were seared and blackened by the intense heat of his pitchfork. The Titans fought back with all their might, using their massive clubs to strike down the attacking Olympians and smashed against the armor of the Olympians, sending shockwaves rippling through the battlefield. Some of the Titans were so powerful that they managed to wound or even kill some of the Olympians. Their clubs smashed into the gods with such force that they left deep bruises and broken bones in their wake. The Titans were relentless, their attacks coming in wave after wave, battering the Olympians and forcing them to give ground. Despite their ferocity, the Titans were no match for the powerful Olympians. One by one, they fell, their bodies writhing in pain from the wounds inflicted by the gods. The ground was littered with the bodies of both Titans and Olympians, the air thick with the scent of blood and death. Meanwhile, Cronus, the leader of the Titans, fought with all his might, using his sickle to slice through the ranks of the Olympian gods. His roar echoed through the battlefield as he charged towards Zeus, who stood firm in the face of the attack. The two clashed in a fierce battle of power, their weapons ringing out as they struck against each other. Zeus was forced to rely on his wits and quick thinking to stay ahead, while Cronus used his raw strength and cunning to try and gain the upper hand. Cronus was able to anticipate Zeus's moves and deflect Zeus's lightning bolts with ease, and his heavy blows almost knocked the wind out of Zeus. Poseidon charged forward, his powerful trident raised high. The sea god was known for his incredible strength and the devastating power of his weapon. But Cronus was not intimidated. With lightning-fast reflexes, he sidestepped Poseidon's attack, dodging the trident as it whizzed past him. In a split second, Cronus retaliated, striking Poseidon with his powerful sickle. The curved blade, made of adamant, was stronger than any other material and was feared by all who faced it. The blow was so powerful that it sent Poseidon stumbling backwards, the trident falling from his grasp. Hades, meanwhile, had been observing the battle with a cunning eye. The god of the underworld was known for his strategic mind and his ability to manipulate the dead. He summoned the spirits of the underworld to attack Cronus, but Cronus was not fooled. He swung his sickle in a wide arc, wounded Hades, the blade cutting deep into the god's flesh and slicing through the dead spirits, sending them back to the underworld. Suddenly from behind, Zeus, with a powerful shout, summoned a bolt of lightning from the sky and aimed it directly at Cronus. The bolt struck Cronus with incredible force, sending him reeling. With the advantage, Poseidon unleashed the full power of the oceans. He casted a massive tidal wave upon Cronus. The Titan was caught off guard by the sheer force of the wave, but he quickly regained his footing and countered with a massive earthquake, shaking the battlefield. Hades gathered all his power and exploded into an unforgettable force of fire meteors, crashing down upon Cronus and put him onto his knees. In the end, it was Zeus who delivered the finishing blow. Summoning all the power of the heavens, he struck Cronus with a final bolt of lightning, sending the Titan crashing to the ground. Zeus emerged triumphant, defeating his father and securing his place as the king of the gods. "Cronus, you have been defeated," cried Zeus, his voice ringing with triumph. "The reign of the Titans is at an end. The age of the Olympians has begun." Cronus lay on the ground, defeated and humiliated. He looked up at his son with a mixture of anger and sadness. "Why, Zeus?" he asked. "Why did you turn against us? We were your family, your kin. Why did you seek to overthrow us?" Zeus looked down at his defeated father with a mixture of pity and resolve. "Because it was necessary," he replied. The Titans had grown cruel and oppressive. They had grown complacent in their power, and they had forgotten the needs of the people they were supposed to protect. The universe needed a change, and I was the one to bring it. With that, Zeus helped Cronus to his feet, and the two of them walked away from the battlefield, each lost in their own thoughts. The Titans were defeated, and the age of the Olympians had begun. The battle of Titanomachy was over, and a new era had dawned. The two gods traveled to Mount Olympus, the home of the gods, where Zeus was crowned king and the Titans were banished to the depths of Tartarus. There, they would remain for all eternity, their power and privilege stripped from them as punishment for their cruelty and oppression. The Battle of Titanomachy marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new age. The universe was forever changed, and the gods who lived in it would never forget the sacrifice and bravery of those who fought and died in that fateful conflict. For generations to come, the story of the Battle of Titanomachy would be told and retold, serving as a reminder of the power and the importance of standing up for what is right, even against overwhelming odds. And as the years passed, the gods and the mortals they protected lived in peace, with the Olympians ruling over the universe with wisdom and justice. The world was a brighter, better place, and all were grateful for the bravery of those who had fought in the Battle of Titanomachy. But despite the peace that had settled over the universe, the gods never forgot the sacrifices that had been made in the battle, and the lessons that had been learned. They remembered the bravery of Zeus and the other Olympians who had fought to reclaim the world from the tyranny of the Titans, and they celebrated the victory that had allowed them to bring a brighter future to all who lived within it. For the gods and mortals alike, the Battle of Titanomachy would always be remembered as a turning point in their history, a time when the universe was changed forever and the power of good triumphed over evil. And as long as the story of that battle was told, the legacy of the Titans would be remembered, and the lessons they had learned would continue to inspire generations to come. I hope you enjoy the story. If you are interested in reading more about the fascinating world of mythology, I have included the links in the description to some of the best mythology storybooks available. Thank you for watching my video and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more upcoming mythology stories.